Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to Learning Apothecary with me. So this month we're going to make a heartwarming elixir, and I'm very excited. So every month I'm going to try and do one of these because I have a monthly subscription box to teach me Apothecary, so you get to get some information out of that. I'll go over it really quick just so you can see what's inside of it, but you can also do these things without the box. You just have to then buy all the ingredients. So it's up to you. Okay, so starting off, it is Apothecary at Home. Here's the little booklet I have for this month. And it's got a bunch of stuff in it. If you want to know in depth what it's all about, check my last video on it because I kind of went more in depth of all the information that's provided, right? Right. So every month you get 3 herbs. And this month we got mugwort, domania. The last one we had is rose. You get 2 jars, 2 little dropper bottles, 2 cloths so you can strain whatever you make, a packet of seeds. They give you little stickers. You get a cute little art piece, which is cool. You also get tea with it. And then lastly, you have a cleansing stick. So again, I'm not going to go into great detail on what's in the pamphlet, but I am going to go over a little bit just because we're learning apothecary. So I'm going to teach you what I'm being taught kind of deal. Right? Right, that makes sense. So if you don't have the box, which is totally cool, you do you, for this elixir that we are going to be making today, I will tell you right now the ingredients that you need. So you can kind of do this however you want, and they even say in the recipe that change it to how you like. Just make sure that everything you use is food safe because this is for consumption. This is for adding to your teas and whatnot. So if you're not getting it from them, just make sure you're getting it from the right places. Jasper. I'm doing something, bud. Yeah, hi. So that's Jasper. Hi, Jasper. Are you gonna literally right there? That's where you're gonna be? Okay, well, that's my roommate cat. Gandalf is laying in front of me, staring at me, so maybe he'll jump on the bed later. Who knows? Okay, so you're gonna need rose petals. You're not gonna need too much rose petals. They're gonna go in this jar, so, something like that. But we'll go over it more in a minute. And then, so yeah, you need a jar. And then we're also going to use the domania. You're going to need something to strain it when we're all done in a few weeks because it's going to sit. And then a dropper bottle. And the last thing that's not included in the box is that you need something to let it steep in. So in the recipe they use brandy, but they also give you a non-alcoholic substitute, which is vegetable glycerin, which I have right here. I bought it online. I've never used it before. But it did say that this one is okay to ingest. Yeah. Make sure when you buy this online that it is good for oral consumption because some of it is not. It's just for your skin. This one says oral consumption on the back, so I'm good. But make sure that you get the right one. Again, safety first. Okay, so we have our instructions, but before that, since we're learning apothecary, we're going to go over the starter monograph for rose, just so you get a start feel for this plant and herb and how you use it. I'm not going to go over everything on this, but I'm going to go over some of the interesting points that I really like and go from there. Again, they have a lot of information on here, so definitely keep that in mind, or at least do your research on it before you use it. Right. So they have the herbal actions on here. It's an antioxidant, it's anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial. I'm having a hard time with words today. And a bunch of other stuff on here. Preparation types you can do. Rose can be used in tincture, tea, infused honey, infused vinegar, infused oil, eye wash, hydrosol, rose water, incense. So you can use rose for a lot. For this section that I'm going to go over now, the medical uses, I am not telling you how to use these things. I'm not a doctor. I am not anything. I am reading what they say here. You can look online and make sure that whatever you're doing, if you have any of these, that you're seeking a professional, I'm not. I'm reading a paper. So it does say you can use it for medicinal things like anxiety and depression. Apparently it's supposed to help with grief and loss. even intense things like Lyme disease, immune deficiency, menstrual cramps, diabetes, and even more stuff than that. They also do have things on here that say like what it can do in a not good way, you know, so like it can be a strong blood mover. Don't really know what that means, but it says avoid in early pregnancy. And it's also cooling, so if someone has a cold constitution, it should be paired with a warming herb like ginger or cinnamon. So there you go, and I'm sure there's more things too, so again, just look it up. Alright, don't make my life difficult. Spiritually, you can use it for your heart chakra medicine, heartache and grief again. It's a great boundary plant because of the thorns that come with roses. And apparently it helps with establishing healthy boundaries. Now there are plenty of other things too rose helps with. You know, it's a symbol of love. It's been cultivated for over 3,000 years. The Romans regarded roses as a sign of pleasure and used them in all manner of ceremonies, feasts, weddings, and even funerals. There is also on here the indigenous use. So the use of roses is widely recorded among indigenous American tribes. These tribes used it as a digestive aid, and even use it as like an eye wash. They would use it as jewelry and incense, and even when there was a threat of starvation, they would eat it. They would eat the rose hips. So the correspondence they have, it's the planet is Venus, the element is water, it is yin. So roses and love go together. We all know this. If you don't know this, I don't know how you don't know this, because it's just literally everywhere. Anything to do with roses has to do with love. So perfect for self-love rituals or kind of like giving yourself a little bit of an upper. Again, I don't do any kind of love magic that is forcing anything onto someone. I think it's weird. If they don't like you, they don't like you. Don't make anyone, you know, like, it's weird. But it is used in a lot of that. Cunningham, which I've read a few of his books, he says that roses with the thorns removed can be worn when performing love spells. Rose water is added to love baths, and rose hips can be strung and worn as love attracting beads. And then the rose recommendations. Try a heart-opening rose petal tea and meditation. Take a bath in rose petals. Grind up petals and use as a garnish on your morning coffee or baked goods. Or combine the powdered petals with water to make beads or incense balls. Use rose hips to dye fabrics orange. If you want to know what rose is, look into roses more. But yeah, so that was a nice little just over thing because this is mostly about roses. And we're going to get to the recipe. So this is the heartwarming elixir. It takes 2 to 4 weeks for it to process, and when it's done and you use it, you use like 1 to 2 like droppers full in your tea to bring you like a pick-me-up. They specifically say to add things that you want and to kind of play around with it so it works for you, and they have optional stuff as well. So they have an option of adding cinnamon, nutmeg, clover, cardamom, or ginger, and then also an option to add rose water or 3 drops of rose flower essence, or both. Oh, and you need honey. I didn't say that earlier. You need honey. 1 teaspoon. Okay, so you are going to wash and sterilize a 4-ounce mason glass, which I already did, and this is the one that they gave me. Okay, and then optional is to grind the herbs in a food processor or mortar and pestle to increase surface area. I'm not doing that, but you know, it's optional. So then you're going to fill the mason jar 3/4 of the way with dried herbs. They recommend 2 parts rose and 1 part Daminia. Okay, so this is how you can get creative with however you want to do it. Alright, so that's roses in there. Alright, and then next is the Daminia. I'm really bad at gauging things, but we're just kind of going with it and seeing how that goes. Alright. And then it says to add a teaspoon of honey, and then the option to do the cinnamon, the nutmeg, clover, cardamom, or ginger. I will put some cinnamon in it because I love cinnamon. And I'm going to add that teaspoon of honey. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Honey, cinnamon, all that jazz. The next step is to fill the rest of the jar with brandy, or the option of non-alcoholic substitute is the vegetable glycerin. which I am doing the vegetable glycerin. Just fill this up. I wish this was a little bit brighter. Why didn't I do that? Hang on. Should have had it this bright this whole time, sorry. But you can see all in there. It's taking over everything. Slowly. Once that's done, we are going to cover it with a wax parchment paper or plastic wrap before screwing the lid on. I'm gonna have to go grab plastic because I forgot, but it's alright. And then after 2 to 4 weeks, you pour into the cloth bag and you squeeze it and twist it and strain it, and then you use a funnel to transfer it into the lid. Transfer it into these again, little droppers, and use a label, mark the date, save it up to 9 months, and you're good. You store it in a dry place away from direct sunlight, shaking the jar every day, and then when you shake the jar, focus on heart healing intentions and medicine. And then after 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to strain it out with the bag, and you're going to funnel it into the glass dropper, and then you can use it for up to 9 months, but you've got to store it somewhere away from sunlight. I hope you'd enjoyed that. I hope you guys also make your little elixir yourself. I'm very excited to try it in some tea. I have to wait 4 weeks, but I'm very excited to use it. I hope you guys are enjoying these little monthly apothecary learning with me. If you want me to go more in depth on stuff, let me know, and I can do even more like research and stuff before I do it to try and help you learn more and help me learn more. I mean, we're learning this together, so like, you know. Any suggestions or anything like that, let me know. Again, this is from Apothecary at Home. I'll have the link in my bio if you want to check them out. Thanks for watching, and see you guys soon.